As somebody who plays on console 99% of the time and really only plays on PC when I'm recording videos or just when I feel like switching things up and sitting on the other side of my room, I don't really end up buying a whole lot of games on PC, but when I do, it's usually through Steam sales or it's also through, you know, the free games that Epic gives away every single week. And I've actually been claiming those games for the last couple years now. So I'm kind of here to just sort of throw my hat in the ring in this whole Steam versus Epic Games versus the 5,000 other launchers and storefronts on PC debate, because honestly, I couldn't care less. I think you should just buy your games wherever you prefer them. If you get a game for free, then just play it on a certain launcher. I really don't understand the bias for one launcher or another. It's even dumber than the console wars. It's PC. It's a free and open market. Just choose what you want. Nobody cares if you have an opinion one way or the other. But, you know, again, I'm just here to throw my hat in the ring and just kind of show my collection of games, my thoughts on both platforms. And we'll just sort of have a casual conversation about everything. Now, it is worth noting that this isn't my only Steam account that I've had over the years. So this account doesn't have all the Steam games that I've purchased, but it does have like a decent majority of them, I guess, and you'll notice that there's a lot of random stuff in here, and that's because, similar to like Epic Games, which Epic Games I've spent literally 0 cents on, I haven't really bought a whole lot of games over here. Sometimes I just, you know, I get lucky and I get a game for free, or if I see a game that's like $5 or less, I'll pick it up. Just sort of running through here, like 7 Days to Die, I got that for like $3, and you know, I'll just sort of scroll through the list, you guys gotta look for everything. I got some weird stuff over here, like Adventure Capitalist, but I will say this right off the oh man, Battlefield 1, such a good game right there. No, I will say this before we get any farther, I do prefer Steam as a platform. I just feel like, I mean, for a myriad of reasons, right? Like when it comes to its sales, the sales on Steam are absolutely unbeatable. You're gonna be picking up games for like $1, $3, $5 all the time. You'll get like new releases for like 10 to 20 bucks. It's absolutely insane. There's fantastic sales all the time. The customer support is unheard of. It's better than literally anything else that I've ever seen before. Fast food, nah, forget it. Fine dining, forget it. A car wash, forget it. Any of the console holders or any other like game publisher, forget it. Steam has the best customer service I have ever had the pleasure of working with in my entirety of existence. The refund policy is also the most consumer-friendly policy to exist, right? Like if you buy a game and you have like what, upwards of like 2 or 3 hours to play, which is more than enough time, and you're like, you know what, I feel like refunding this, you can do that. There's no questions asked. It's like, oh, okay, you don't jive with the game, that's fine. Here's your refund, buddy, and you're on your way. And again, I'll just kind of like keep scrolling through here so you guys can see some of my games. Like, again, I bought some stuff and I've played like a good amount of games over here over the years, but it's not like this, you know, again, PC just isn't necessarily my main platform. I mean, again, I do prefer Steam over Epic Games, but at the same time, I do still feel like the whole debate between the two gets a little out of hand. I mean, I don't really see a reality where anybody actually prefers Epic Games. I mean, if they do, that's cool. I mean, I will say personally, I do prefer it in the way that they give you free games all the time, and I feel like even if you're a stuck-in-your-ways Steam user, I feel like you're only hurting yourself by not at least logging into Epic Games every Thursday to claim a free game. I mean, it's literally a free game, and they give away, like, genuinely quality games, as you guys are going to be seeing here in a minute when we go through it. Like, I've been keeping up with it for the last 4 or 5 years, and, you know, I've missed a few weeks here and there, unfortunately, which means I missed some incredible AAA games, but still, my collection over there is insane. But yeah, this is sort of the end of the list over here. You know, again, I don't have that many games over here, but, you know, when we go back to the store, as I was talking about before, there's something about Steam's layout that just appeals to the eye and makes you feel more at home, right? Like, you just open it up and it's like, ah, okay, featured and recommended, you got your games right there, and I feel like it's because you're able to see a lot at once, which is a huge issue that I have with the Epic Game Store. It's just not very friendly to navigate. It just feels overwhelming and overbearing, whereas Steam, it's like, okay, featured and recommended, boom, 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 bunch of games, it automatically scrolls for you, special offers, like, look at all this stuff, you got a $2 game there, $1.50 game there, $6.28 for Enter the Gungeon, that's one of the best roguelikes of all time. Warriors Abyss, a new game, going for 20, well, you know, it was only 25 when it first came out, but still, super cheap. $10 for Halo the Master Chief Collection, you get like 5 games with that. Obviously, sales or, you know, games are put on sale through the publisher, and it's not necessarily just Steam slashing down the prices, but publishers put their games on sale on Steam because they know they're gonna sell, because, you know, Steam is like, you know, the platform, especially when it comes to finding amazing deals on games, as you're seeing all over this page. You go down a little bit further, browse by category, everything's nicely laid out. Top played on Steam Deck if you're a Steam Deck user, which I really want to buy a Steam Deck. Come down here, recommended based on the games you play, and it's just, it's such a nice layout, like I mentioned before, and then you come down here and there's even more stuff to scroll through. But then when you come to the Epic Game Store, I don't really know what I'm looking at here, right? Like, this is supposed to be a PC games marketplace, you know, the Epic Games Store, yet I'm not really seeing a whole lot of games. I'm seeing advertisements for Fortnite up here. I'm seeing another advertisement for Fortnite right off the rip right here. You know, you got some stuff like Genshin Impact, but it's just like big banners about advertisements for things within games, but there's not really a whole lot of game going on here. And then you scroll down, it's like, okay, discover something new. You can kind of look through here, but again, the layout just feels a little messy, I guess. I just really don't know where my eyes are supposed to go, whereas, again, if we go right back to Steam and you go back up to the top of the page. Immediately when you look at it, you go, oh, War Thunder, Thief Simulator bundle. But then when you come here, it's like, okay, Expedition 33. Yeah, that's a great game. Okay, Escape from Tarkov. Then you kind of go through there. Then you sort of gotta awkwardly click through it, and it just sort of feels a little like, you know, like, it's fine, but it's still just missing some of the pizzazz. Then you come down here and look, it's not even about the games anymore. It's just about more advertisements for things within Fortnite. I know Fortnite is Epic Games' bread and butter, and this is their storefront. You know, they have every right to do that, and it makes sense why they're advertising it here, but it's like, okay, aren't you trying to push game sales here? But then again, I guess microtransactions are a part of the game sales. Come down here, you got more stuff here. It's like, okay, May the 4th spotlight. But the layout still isn't very appealing to the eye. You come down here, you got a few deals, that's cool, and then you got the free games that I was talking about, which, yeah, sure, these aren't like big AAA crazy releases or anything, but free games are free games, and as I mentioned before, we'll be looking at my library here in a moment, and you'll be able to see just like, you know, how good some of the giveaways really are sometimes, especially like during the holidays when they give away like one free game for 2 weeks straight. Now, I don't want to keep you guys here for too long, but I will say there is 10 pages to this, so we're gonna go through it just somewhat, you know, at a bit of a decent pace here. Like, I'll just sort of point out the big heavy hitters because again, I have spent 0 cents on this account. So any and all games that you were seeing here, I got completely for free. So again, I'm going to point out just some of the heavy hitters or some of like the indie darlings per se. Like there's some great games here like Redacted, A Plague Tale Innocence, Alien Isolation, Among Us. I know the game normally goes for like $5, but still. Bear and Breakfast, Blair Witch, Rotato's a really underrated one, Cat Quest 1 and 2 are really underrated ones as well, Castlevania Anniversary Collection, Chivalry 2, Control, Crime Boss Rockay City, I thought that game was pretty underrated, Deus Ex Mankind Divided, Dishonored, Death of the Outsider, you got Doom 64, Dragon Age Inquisition, Ender Lilies, which is another really underrated game that I recommend more people check out, FIST, Forged in Shadow Torch, like almost all of the Fallout games, right? Like we got the first 3 Fallout games here. I thought they gave away New Vegas at one point. Maybe I was mistaken, but still, there's like Fallout 3 there, so you got like the first 3 games plus Fallout Tactics. As I mentioned before, Fortnite's obviously on here. This is like the only place you can really get it, so this is like the place to get Fortnite at. Ghostbusters Remastered, Garden Story, Ghost Runner 1 and 2, Ghostwire Tokyo, GTA 5, as well as GTA 5 Enhanced Edition, because I got this game for free, and yet I was still able to get the Enhanced Edition for free, which was like freaking awesome. Hot Wheels Unleashed, Jurassic World Evolution 1 and 2, Kingdom Come Deliverance, Lego Star Wars The Skywalker Saga, Layers of Fear 2, Marvel Guardians of the Galaxy. That game is fantastic. I really wish more people would have played that one. Unfortunately, it didn't get as much recognition as I feel like it deserved, just due to the fact that Avengers was, relatively speaking, a flop when it comes to like financials and just overall sales, and people weren't really jiving with the fact that it was a live service. And most people expected Guardians of the Galaxy to just be more of that, you know, live servicey type stuff. But no, Guardians of the Galaxy was a genuinely fantastic single player experience, and I really hope more people go on to check it out. It started to get more of the recognition that it deserves, but I still feel like it deserves to have more people talking about it, you know what I mean? Marvel Midnight Suns, Made of Scare, Mortal Shell, a really underrated Souls-like, NBA 2K21, if that's your sort of thing, Orcs Must Die 3, Payday 2, Overcooked 2, Rage 2, Rise of the Tomb Raider. They give away like all the Tomb Raider games on here, like the, you know, the newer trilogy, like Shadow of the Tomb Raider, which you can literally see right here, Tomb Raider from 2013, Saints Row 2022, Sifu, Solstice, and underrated DMC type games, Sonic Mania, Stub the Zombie, and Rebel Without a Pulse, which is a game from like the PS2/Xbox generation. That game's freaking gnarly, and they did like a bit of a remaster for it. That's how I got it here. The Callisto Protocol, another underrated gem. The Evil Within 1 and 2, more underrated gems but fantastic games. The Outer Worlds, made by the same people that made Fallout New Vegas. Love that game. Thief, Tomb Raider 2013, Total War Warhammer. Going on to page 10 here, we got Turnip Boy Commits Tax Evasion, Undying, which I, you know, heard got really good reviews, Wolfenstein The New Order, World War Z, and then like Zombie Army 4, which the Zombie Army games /Sniper Elite games I also feel like are pretty underrated. Those are the games that you've probably seen clips of before where like you shoot at somebody with a sniper and then you can like pop their testicle with it or whatever, but still, again, as I mentioned before, I literally got all of these games for free. So I feel like if you're on PC, the best way to go about it is to utilize all of the fantastic sales on Steam, and then maybe get out of your own way and try opening up Epic Games every now and then, because they give away some fantastic games. And do keep in mind, I missed some pretty big AAA giveaways. Like, I remember there was one point where they gave away Star Wars Battlefront 2, and I was so mad that I missed that one, man. I really would have loved to get that game. Like, it's fine because I have it on Xbox and PlayStation already, obviously, but, you know, I'm just one of those people where if I like a game, I want to have it on all the platforms, you know what I mean? I also can't really speak for the customer service side of things when it comes to the Epic Games Store. It's probably not even comparable to Steam, because Steam is just, you know, so well renowned for having such great customer service stores, and you really don't hear anything about that when it comes like Epic Games or like Fortnite or whatever. So, you know, I'm not sure. It's also worth noting that Steam obviously just has way more games, right? Like Epic Games Store, it like just objectively speaking, Steam has way more games, and when it, you know, if you're on both platforms, like say, let's just say for example, Call of Duty, it is the best-selling game every year, or at least very close to it, unless like Rockstar releases a game, and look at that, on Epic Games Store, you can't even get Black Ops 6, whereas obviously if you go on Steam, you know, I mean, that's also just when it comes to search terms and everything. I feel like the search engine over here on Steam is just much better. There's much more functionality, right? You can narrow it down by tag, by price range, by OS, by language, and all this stuff. And while, yeah, you have some of that over here, like events, price, genre, and all that, it's just, it's not the same. Overall, Steam is just a much better platform when it comes to buying and searching for games. I'm just curious, I don't think Fortnite is actually on Steam. Yeah, Fortnite isn't on Steam, which that is a smart move on Epic's part. You know, if they want more people to play on their launcher, obviously just keep that exclusive to your thing. Expedition 33 is only $50, dude. That is a steal for that game. That game is fantastic. I still can't believe Microsoft just freaking shadow dropped Elder Scrolls 4. like that was not on my bingo card for this year, but I'm so happy that it happened, and I'm so glad that they kept like all the bloopers intact in that game. I'm sorry, I'm going off on a tangent, but anyway, like I said, I don't want to keep you guys here for too long. This is just sort of meant to be a console player slash a person that plays on PC, but not a whole lot's perspective on the whole debate between the Epic Games Store versus the Steam Store, and which one I think is better. Again, overall as a store platform, Steam better, but when it comes to the amount of games you're going to be getting just for simply existing on the platform, I mean, you really can't go wrong with that. But like, come on, man. I feel like I made out like a bandit on Epic Games compared to Steam, considering the fact that I didn't even spend a cent over here. Even if deep down, you know, Steam has way more games, and those games are going to be at better prices, and, you know, this is just like the better platform overall, at least in my subjective opinion. So I feel like fighting online over which platform is better is really just silly, irrelevant, and stupid. And really, I'd just say a hybrid approach is the way to go. Actually, I have to be honest with you guys. I actually do more than just Epic Games and Steam on PC. I actually also have PC Game Pass, and I've also gotten a handful of games over here just, you know, on the Xbox app. And really, I mean, this is the way to do it on PC, man. You get free games from Epic Games that you can basically just keep no matter what. You got Steam, which is like the best platform overall. Then you got PC Game Pass, plus if you just want to buy the games outright over here, like, come on, dude. You are, at this point, you're living like a king. But anyways, yeah, that's kind of my take on everything. Now I'd love to hear from you guys. Do you guys do what I do, where you do a hybrid approach of both, of all, like the Xbox app, the Epic Games app, maybe occasionally some of the Amazon stuff that they give away, as well as Steam? Or are you stuck in your ways and you're like, no, Epic Games is the best store, blah, 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 blah. No, Steam is the best store, da, 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 da. Which again is pretty stupid, because we're all just here to play video games and have a good time, right? No matter what it is, I'd love to hear from you guys, and but I don't know, let's try not to get too feisty. Yeah, I really don't feel like having to cool the flames of any wars over PC game storefronts. But anyways, always massive shout out to the patrons, and should remember to take it on the low ball tier, to be shout out to the mobile team, asking, and make that many, the big shout out on GT run of a solo. Thank you guys so much, guys. Little legends, I love you. Have an amazing day, stay beautiful. I love you all. Peace.